Oh, good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, morning. Man, look at this gold here on the daily, previous daily. I mean, current daily. Previous daily closed bullish. Surprisingly, it moved. Man, look. Okay, so basically, when we made the video yesterday, the daily time frame was all the way up over here. Right? It's kind of crazy to see like how it pulled down to close like a doji candle. And then the next candlestick opened and then broke the previous candle lows. And, you know, right now it's looking quite bearish. It already dumped around from the open 650 pips. Right now it has pulled back up to 0.20% right now. So daily bias is kind of waiting. But yeah, we could still be seeing profit taking. I think this is what it is. Like, this is the end of the year and people are going to be profit taking, it seems, you know. But the good part is there's a lot of volume. You know, there's a lot of volume over here. I mean, if you look at these 5-minute candles, this candle here is like 125 pips. Or, I mean, yeah, about 125. 120 pips, which is crazy. A 5-minute candle, 120 pips. 120 pips. Man, this morning, I took a buy over here. The idea was a shotgun entry. So, when a candlestick closed above resistance, you know, we had clean range for price to continue moving upwards. But man, our candle is 150, 120 pips. We got a 16 pip stop loss. That's how big these candles are and how small my stop loss is. But yeah, I'm confident in my system. I'm confident in the way I analyze. So when I took this trade, basically what happened was, let's see, where was it? This is a 5-minute. This was at a 125. What time was that signal called? This is a 131. Let me see. 131. So that means that was right here. We took the buy 131. Yeah, and that's price over here. Man, like when this candle started pulling back a bit, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared because obviously it's small stop loss and these candles are so huge. But at the same time, what had happened was we created a pretty healthy bottom wick. So since price had already created that bottom wick, you know, what was the probability that it was gonna like reverse like that when we have such a nice clean range as well? Because if it was gonna fake out due to the bearish momentum, I think it would have like started faking out here. But instead what happened was we ended up creating a support. Right over here, we created a support. Remember like what we spoke about the previous video that we made on how to take counter trend moves? That's kind of like the same idea that happened here, but without the consolidation. It was more of like a shotgun confirmation. I'm not gonna get into the details. You know, the video is there to watch if you want to learn how to trade that. If you don't, then you know that's okay. But anyway, we got a support over here that was formed, clean range on the left hand side up towards like 43.40, and then the break of the highs was what was to confirm this move to the upside. Whereas on the video, it was gonna be a consolidation continuation to confirm the move to the upside. So just because it was a different entry model over here. And yeah, price pretty much like filled up the range towards resistance, and that was pretty much, that's it. There's not much left from this point. From here to here is only about like 75 pips. So yeah, I think that was a move. That was pretty much it for the buys, just to like fill this range. Now it's filled this range, and I think at this point price is going to break below support over here. And if it breaks below support, there's pretty good probability, man, like we just continue moving down to some profit taking and fill this next range. It's like 228 pips. Got a nice little SMA confluence in there too. Yeah, we got some resistance over here. We got this kind of range that we're sitting in between right now. It's about like a 118 pip range. It looks like it's accumulating. We might get that breakout. But this is crazy, man. I haven't seen a December move like this in a while, or like I don't think I've ever seen December move like this. Maybe during COVID, but I wouldn't know. But anyway, like this is crazy. This is honestly crazy. Let's see what silver's doing. I wish I held a runner on that too. But I think I'm just gonna close off December over here at 37.8%. Let's see. Monthly on silver is hovering about $72. We peaked at 83. Silver is just nuts right now, to be honest. This thing is just crazy. It's 124%. I think next up in line is platinum, and then gold is third place in precious metals in terms of percentage gains from the year. So yeah, platinum's been performing quite well. We don't trade platinum. I don't even think I have platinum on the watch list. Let's see, is what XPT USD? Platinum. It's platinum. We should like put it on the watch list here. See how that looks. Boom. And drag that all the way up here. Let's remove that. Let's put this here. No, get away. Na. Yeah, platinum skyrocketing. But it doesn't look as crazy as silver though. Say compared to gold. Where's platinum trading at? $2,000. I mean, gold, to be fair, on the quarterly looks a lot more crazy than platinum. Platinum, that's on quarterly time frame, got a nice little accumulation breakout that happened right over here. Boom, boom, boom. Nice little SMA crossover. The volume came in and then shot to the upside on platinum there on the quarterly. So you see, like, it happens on all time frames, right, chat? Like, you also got the inverted right here. That's the inverted head and shoulders right there. SMA kind of looks funny, kind of hovering over here. But that's a 50. That's a 50. I think silver has been driven by political issues regarding China's export ban on silver beginning of the year. Yeah, I mean, like, definitely, like, silver is going to be affected by also the US, the rate cuts and how the dollar's performing, and also the dollar looks super weak. Dollar looks like it's about to really tumble over there down to like 90. So we're going to see like silver, we're going to see gold go up. See this platinum against the dollar. Price is skyrocketing. Let's actually bring these to the top of the watch list. You got like silver over here skyrocketing. Let's get our precious metals up here. Let's kind of like remove GJ for a bit. Alright, so we got gold. Top of the leaderboard for me. Silver, quite interesting. And we got a platinum. But let's see platinum on the intraday time frames. Oh, damn. Platinum's down negative 10% already. I tell you, like, silver and platinum have so much, like, movement in them. Like, we would never see, like, 10% on gold, for example. I think the highest maybe I've seen gold, like, 20.50, maybe 3%. It's quite rare. Yeah, we're getting a small little accumulation break here on platinum as well on the 5-minute. Currently playing this out. Clean range on the left-hand side. It's trying to correct some of this. Clean range, or rather it is correct in the process of correcting it. Nice little push over there on silver. Goldie should be distributing now as well to the downside. Trying to also like fill up this next range here on the left-hand side. So like actually distributing from this region right over here. Had a nice little accumulation break to the downside. Boom, boom, boom. Retraced. Looks like it took out this high. Kind of chopped off for a bit. Came back up again. And then continued to move downwards. See on the break. Here's a break. I think there's a break here. 20 pips. Pulled up. And then came down. Pulled up. And then came down again. But it's still like moving towards this general direction here. And it's also got a head and shoulders in there too. You got your left shoulder here, right shoulder. There's a volume starting to come back in. Break below that support. And then continue its way towards 4,300. Which is actually a nice psychological mark. Right over here. That's going to be like a magnet for price. 4,300. But yeah, chat, like yesterday, I actually thought price would go up bullish. I was more towards a bullish direction, but we did mention that a price, you know, breaks below than that support, then you might get some early or some sells, which looks like it actually broke that support even before the daily candlestick closed, which is crazy. The amount of volume that came in last minute. Man, these last few days in December have been fantastic. I made 8% in 3 days. Nice, let's go. Yeah, December has been amazing. Like, honestly, you know, the thing is, January, we're going to expect more of this profit taking. We're still going to be expecting some kind of a volume to be coming in too. But man, December, I would argue December has been the most volume month this whole year. Imagine that. On freaking, when we should be having holidays. December had like the most volume. And that's because yearly candles are closing and they're pulling back a lot. And there's a lot, like, the way our economy is right now, the economy is set up in such a way that this volume we're even seeing right now in December, I think it should carry throughout 2026, to be honest. And that's kind of why we like Trump, you know. That's why Trump is it's good for traders, because he's actually creating a lot of these opportunities over here. Trump is more of the guy for, if you understand him, you're gonna understand him. But if you don't, and you're kind of working like, you know, just a normal life, then you won't understand like what's really going on, you know. You won't really get it. But Trump is really here to make people money, man. Like, but he's only doing it for financially educated people. Like, most of the time, if you're gonna look into how the economy is set up, there are certain things you kind take advantage of, you know, and you put yourself in positions to take advantage of those things. But right now, we're getting a small little break in a retest of support by 43.24. And it like breaks these lows. And then for price to come down like 200 pips. Let's see what news we got. Gold heads for best year since 1979. Gold prices rose above 43.60 per ounce on the final day of 2025, which is insane, marking a year of exponential gains and positioning of the precious metal for its strongest annual performance in more than 4 decades. Bullion has surged 66% this year, which we saw highs of I think like 75%. A rally that accelerated in late April following Trump's global tariff rollout. Shout out to Trump. The momentum has been further supported by persistent geopolitical tensions, US interest rate cuts, robust central bank purchases, and rising holdings in gold-backed ETFs. See, meanwhile, the Federal Reserve's December meeting minutes. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, we had meeting minutes yesterday. That was like shortly after when I posted the video. Released today highlighted that most officials view further rate cuts as appropriate if inflation continues to fall, though they remain divided on the timing and magnitude of potential reductions. But we're most likely going to see at least 225 basis point cuts in 2026, at least. On the geopolitical front, uncertainty surrounding Russia-Ukraine peace deal, renewed tensions in the Middle East, and frictions between the US and Venezuela are boosting demand on the safe haven metal. So this is what I mean. We have so much to look forward to in 2026. You know, it's not like it's quiet. Sometimes we get these kind of quiet periods in the market where there's like, you know, we're just waiting. But right now there's things in the works. Gold edges higher in the early Asia trade session. The precious metal has gained around 65% this year. The rally not only reflected deep macroeconomic concerns, but also pushed gold into a high valuation zone, making the market more sensitive to short-term corrective factors. So yeah, super sensitive. That's true. That's true. Like, man, we get like such things. Some news can come out and then gold moves. Like, come on, man. 5-minute candle, 120 pips. The first quarter of 2026 is likely to be a period of correction. This is what they're anticipating. The first quarter of 2026. Likely to be a period of correction or consolidation. So that's another thing. Is it a pullback or is it a reversal? What are we seeing right now on gold? I personally think it's a pullback. I personally think it's a pullback and gold should continue moving up bullish, as both the highest interest rate environment and expectations that the Fed will maintain a cautious stand will remain short-term headwinds. Chan says. Yeah, so I'm not too worried about these like daily pullbacks. It's like 4,300 over here. Kind of coming back into the gulag, you know, we're back down below 4,400. So I guess the next psychological mark for us to hold is gonna be that 4,300 mark. Hey Joshua, good morning, happy new year. Yeah. Thumbnail is super ripped. It's manifestation, brother. Manifesting this version in 2026. Just gotta stay consistent, man. It's just all about consistency. Like at the end of the day, if you got a good habit and you just do it consistently, there's nothing you cannot not achieve, right? The universe is fair in that sense, where it gives the person who's the most consistent what they want. The person who's actually like putting in work every day and putting themselves in a position to get lucky, right? Like the universe is fair. It's just about God's timing. It's just when is it gonna happen? That's all that it is. I've placed the SL below the candle breaking the range as you suggested. Thanks, Vic. Oh, this was a trade taken. This was a buys. Yeah, prices. Yeah, this was the accumulation. True. Little liquidity grab. TP1 about what 30 pips, 1-to-1 entry at the break. Awesome. Yeah, you know what you can do? You could like slide in the middle, put the candlesticks in the middle next time when you take the picture, but because we can still see like all of this. All of this, you just bring the candles in the middle and then we'll see the range right over here too. But yeah, pretty nice trade. Look at this, break of the highs, price move up. Looks like accumulated there again. That was the only other entry, right? Because as price was moving up, I don't think there was anything else. Or was there? Yeah, there was one right here. Which one did you get? You got the later one. I got the shotgun, and then there was one right here. Break of the highs to keep moving up. See, like very strong proper break this is. Also not like yesterday's break. Yesterday's break below that 5-minute support, which was a reversal confirmation, closed like 2 1-minute candles before it broke. So you see the difference here is like you got one candle just like shoot up. So it's just like more of a confirmation. You got that SMA confluence in there too. Nice little 8 SMA holding up that candle. Nice to see. We also got basically what we spoke about in the video yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago. What we spoke about how to catch counter trend moves. That's basically it. That's literally it. I didn't get on a shotgun, but now that I'm investigating the 1-minute time frame, now I see it. Now I see it. Literally, chat, like I make these videos and I say in these videos every time, take notes, like this is gonna happen. You know, the thing is right now people are not seeing it, but eventually they're gonna see it. Eventually they're gonna see it. But like this was the pretty much the idea here as prices coming down. But the only thing is the time. I guess the timing aspect of it was not as accurate because it was not the London Open. But anyway, you know, I still took counter trends. I don't mind taking counter trends in the pre-London because like once you understand price action, then you build a bit more confidence. But the timing thing is kind of like some kind of way to just help understand that markets can move differently at different points in time. You know, so but in terms of the price action, this was it. You know, as price comes down, such as this, boom, don't get in on the first breaks. Wait for like some kind of supports to be formed, right? And then see if candlesticks can keep going up bullish. If it breaks up and then continues, then you're gonna know that just like what you're seeing over here, counter trend move came up, created that accumulation, and then it didn't break the lows. Instead, it ended up breaking the highs, correct? And then it started to move up, which is basically what happened right over here. Price is coming down, it pushed up, created that structure, pushed up, which is essentially this right here. Came down, pushed up, created that structure, pushed up. Um, yeah, but let's see. Goldie can follow through. How do you say the China news on silver? What China news? Chinese. Man, I saw like news about some Somali daycares in Minnesota making $111 million daily. What the hell is that? Y'all see that news? Man, that's crazy. $111 million through fraud with these daycare centers. But you know, it happens across the board. Daycare, healthcare. And you know, the thing is, like the Somali is basically a failed country. It's a failed state. So it allows a lot of like corruption. You know what I mean? Like, so when you can't do traditional banking, for example, you can get hard cash brought into Somalia. And Somalis are quite wealthy because of their access to, you know, being a failed state and having cash, being able to have cash. And it's quite important because a lot of rich people find it difficult to do traditional means of banking. So they got to liaise with these Somalis and take advantage of the government systems. And they get like hard cash. And through that hard cash, they can put it into investments. It's like a whole freaking thing, man. But I didn't know they're actually Somalis in Minnesota. Like $111 million of taxpayers' money being laundered through fraudulent activities on a daily basis in America. Crazy. But it's a whole thing, man. Like when it comes to money, it's such a big rabbit hole. And that's why I always say, like, be cynical about the world. You know, you're gonna learn a lot when you're cynical. I overtraded, took an Asia position and took a nice big fat loss. I love the fact that I always get punished for my mistakes. No leniency over here. Yeah, that's the thing. The market always punishes mistakes. That's true. It rewards discipline, consistency, but it will punish your mistakes. It will punish your mistakes. So whenever you take a trade, you got to take a trade with a lot of conviction. You know, because otherwise, then you're going to put a lot of risk. Because I always say it's better to miss a trade. Like, trust me, it's better miss a trade than get into a trade that you were not 100% confident about. So when you execute, you really have to be willing to see it through. Yeah, Tim Walsey in the spotlight for that one. Maybe we should. Yeah, Tim Walsey is he's a governor, right? A governor of Minnesota. Yeah, look at this. He changed the Minnesota flag to a Somali flag over here. So you got the American flag and then the Somali flag. Yeah. Tim Walsey's what's Tim Walsey's net worth, sir? What have you benefited from this? Let's see. Does it say? No, it doesn't say it like super obviously, but we know Tim Walsey is getting greased up over here too. Look at me. I am the captain now. Minnesota belongs to the Somalis. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz hits back as Trump administration freezes states' child care funds amid fraud claims. $111 million in a day? That's insane. I am the captain now. I think the guy from isn't the guy from that movie with Tom Hanks from Minnesota too? Captain Phillips. Isn't this guy? This guy's from Minnesota or something as well, right? I know he lives. He's American, or is it? Such a goated movie though. Abduwali Muse. Barkhad Abdi. Somali American actor. Right? He made his acting debut in Pirate, Abdul Muse in biography drama Captain Felix. Oh, Minneapolis. Barkad Abdi moved back to Minneapolis. Minneapolis, Somali-born, Minnesota-launched actor has quietly been building a rock-solid career after blowing up in Captain Phillips. Crazy. I overtraded, took a position, Asia position, and took a nice big fat loss. Oh yeah, we read that already. Hey, good morning, good morning. I think silver, say minus 200 euros today. Let's get that back. Don't chase it though. Where's the London Open volume though? We just got a London Open here, but we did get a push. But we kind of want to see this level get respected. See if price starts breaking again below 43.20 there. 43.20. Hey Lando, what's the setup? Hey, what's up, Henry? Setup is probably sells. You know, if it start breaking below 43.20 again, then the daily buys should be flipping back bearish. The thing about the buys, you know, the buys already corrected the range right over here, so there's nothing too appetizing about buys at this moment. There's not too much room as well. I mean, you got this area here. Price can break above, that's like 77 pips. Start getting like some kind of a candlesticks to start closing above this region. Boom, boom. Like this. Right? Then you got like 70 pips over there. But the sells do look a lot more appetizing. Just created the secondary support. Nice little SMA holding price down. Look at the way the SMAs are kind of like supporting price down right now. Kind of giving it like a hand. A hand to the downside. Gently putting it down. Gently pulling down the candle here. Took a loss today. Mine's minus 1.2%. Good counter trend entry. Then the market flipped bullish. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't take a buy during pre-London session, that means there's a higher chance you took a loss, right? Because price just moved up. So the only thing for pre-London time here was actually just buys. Pretty much just buy. To fill up this range. And now it's like the time thing, yeah? The time thing. So now we're trading a London session. So you can see now price is coming down. People are going to be looking for buys. So it's like kind of out of tune sometimes you can be. Oh yeah, let's see. 200 pip. Really nice 200 pip dump. Let's see what our targets are here for the day according to Reuters. 43.63, 43.99. Okay, so between 43.63 and 44. Why do you put 43.99? Why you put 43.99? This is not eggs in the groceries. You know, like just write 4,400. What difference does that $1 make over here? Doesn't make any difference. Just put like 4,400. It's actually kind of annoying. So there's like 4,400. This is gonna be like up here. And what is this? 43.63. It's a pretty big range. 43.63. Oh. When was this posted though? Oh, this was 7 hours ago. Yeah, I was like blown past those zones. Looks like bull stop. $15 looks clean. Just create one support. It's like a market fade. If this candlestick was to actually start moving like this, boom. Now we'll get like a market fade here. Then candle can continue to move down again. Oh, that nice 15-minute SMA is also holding. 30 minutes, like, got more SMAs in the favor of price coming down. The hourly is holding. 15, 5-minute, 1 minute's looking good. Small little accumulation there. Still not yet showing any buy pressure, but it's definitely at a point A right now. You could either see like price gonna have like a big move soon from this region. It's gonna break above these highs and then move up, or it's gonna break these lows and then move down. Either one of those two. I'm not trading till next year. My girlfriend broke up with me Monday, so it threw me off, and I'm mad because of and I'm made because of the big moves. Oh, this when the next year jokes come up. See you next year, Rain. See you next year, Jane. See you next year, Luke. Yeah, sorry about that, man. Anyway, shouldn't focus on relationships. You should focus on yourself. Because if a relationship's gonna make you feel a certain way, you gotta love yourself first. You know, above anything else, you got to love yourself. Because shit happens in life. You know, shit happens. Divorce rates are, probability speaking, you're a higher probability to get a divorce based off the data, you know? So I would say just focus on yourself. This is an opportunity for you to build yourself, to focus on yourself, man. Because relationship is gonna take a lot of time from you, you know. And if you got a lot of work to do, then on yourself especially, then you shouldn't even be in a relationship in the first place. Because that's gonna take a lot of time from you, man. And trust me, you don't have that much time. Like relationship, you can have a relationship in the next 10 years, 20 years, but these boxes that you need to check right now, there's a window of those boxes closing. You know, you could always go to the bar with friends. You could always do this. Those windows of opportunity are always going to be open for you. But there are certain check boxes right now, they're not going to remain open for very long. So you got to focus on those. Everything else you're going to get later. So yeah, don't be down about it. Think about it positively now. You got a lot more time. You got a lot more money. you got a lot more freedom to focus on yourself. Sometimes you have to be selfish. Sometimes you got to disappear for like a couple of months and then come back and help everybody out, you know? So that's just God showing you the way. You might not see it now. It might seem depressing now, but trust me, like there's always a reason for things that happen in our lives, right? It's kind of just nudging you in a certain direction. You always just got to be very like almost spiritual about certain events that happen to you on a daily basis. You know, so that's a pretty big one and an obvious one for you to look at and then say, okay, maybe this is leading me towards something more positive. Because you don't know, man, she could have wasted your time. She could have wasted your time, and it's better you learn that now than later. You know what's never going to leave you? Money, and also building skills, and also working on yourself. You know? Okay, money can leave you. Money comes and goes, but you know what I mean. Got 10K account, FTMO. She set me free. Now you belong to the market. That's true. This is new bay for you here. The market is bay. You know why they call BMW BMW? They call, if you like cars, you're gonna get BMW. Be my wife. That's what they call BMWs. So those are the kind of bays that you want to have around you, you know? Don't be a simp. Don't be simping out here. Right now, men are under attack. We are under siege. With the amount of OnlyFans women on the internet, we are under siege. And we have to remain focused. It's very difficult to remain focused in an ocean of OnlyFans models online. But you know those standards? Those are not real life standards. Like, trust me. It's very difficult to uphold those standards in real life. What they sell on the internet. It's not real. Even if you ask women themselves, they'll tell you. It's an unrealistic standard. It costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of effort to uphold those standards. So stay strong, man. Stay focused. Her breaking up with you is her giving you more free time to lock in. The greatest stories always start with a breakup. Alright, see price is flirting with 43.20 over here. Close right above support. This is how it is. Let me actually show you like the best example of this. Let me see if we can find that scene. This is what every relationship starts off as. Correct me if I'm wrong, man. This is how it starts. Wait, this we're not gonna be friends. Wait. Oh man, this guy didn't put in the other part. He only put in this part. Oh man, like why are they not putting in the second part of it? What is this? The second part of it is supposed to be him getting splashed with water. Getting splashed with water in the bed. Wow, man, they actually don't have that reel here. Oh, they don't have it. But if you watch the movie, then you know the scene where he's just like lying in bed and then he gets splashed with water. It's like, who? That's a different scene, yeah. Yeah, I seen the movie. I gotta go. I'll be back, people. Much love. Alright, Rain, enjoy. Some advice for passing 10K. What do you mean? What do you mean some advice for passing 10K? Like you've passed 10K. Got a sell over here. See, out of BE. Nice little console breakout. Awesome. Yeah, price coming down here. Still coming down. Nice. Come on, Goldie. Why are you running? Let's break in from that accumulation we spoke about. Right over here. So it's either going to break the highs or it's going to break the lows. See this scenario, what happened? Broke the lows. Distributing to the downside. Didn't break the highs. See, I can put food on the spoon, but I can't feed you the food. Price is coming down over here to fill this range to 4,300. Nice. Beautiful little SMA crossover there too. A little confluence on the 5. Pullback was quite heavy though. Let's see how big this was. Oh, okay. Not bad. Not bad. 20 pips top would survive. Not bad. Yeah, how big that pullback was initially. About like 15, 16 pips. Kind of just close over here. Really small bottom wick on that. Still on the way down. So still seeing the same profit taking from before. Like right over here. Maybe we're going to see that continuation follow through now. 4,300 is going to be a magnet. 4,300. I never got my cookie for the sub. Is gold coming down just to create the top wick on the monthly candle? Yeah, it's coming down because of profit taking. Because the way I look at it, it's like, you know, banks, institutions have these reports that they always have to submit towards, you know, like end of quarters. So I think what we're seeing is just profit taking. But they're going to be back into the market like in January. So that's why we're seeing a lot of like this bearish momentum over here. I mean, it's been an incredible year on gold. Think about these. You know, when you think about institutions, they've been around for so long. They have so much knowledge. Just think of yourself like a vampire, yeah? And you've been around for like 100, 250, 200 years. And you've been trading the markets like all that time. Well, and imagine the kind of maturity you would have. Like the amount of things you get. For example, this whole year we've been expecting, especially with Trump's character, what Trump is like, and you know, we're expecting with the rate cuts with Powell. There's a certain probability of something happening over another thing. There's a higher chance that we were gonna get rate cuts, and on top of that, they also have additional information that's you know, not accessible to us retail traders. But I think we kind of saw it coming, right? We kind of saw it coming. Since we've been waiting for the rate, guys, we've been waiting for rate cuts like ever since we've been stuck in this range. Remember, we got stuck in this range for so long. This was when we were really banking off geopolitical uncertainties to move price. Remember, this was when that war in Gaza was happening quite a lot, but price was doing the opposite, right? It was not going up, it was doing the opposite because we were mainly waiting for rate cuts. And then when Powell finally stepped in over here on a... keep forgetting this date over here, this 22nd of August, we got the extension, right? But you could see it in the price action itself. Like, we were literally just waiting for nothing else but rate cuts. Then Powell came in and stepped in. He gave us confidence in rate cuts, and then price skyrocketed up bullish. So imagine that. Like, this is something that we spoke about. You know, we spoke about it here. And even as from a retail level, we already know this. Now imagine from an institutional level, right? Now imagine that. We spoke about this, it went up. Not only did we speak about that one, we also spoke about this one. This was the same thing that we said, right? Price is just consolidating here. It's just getting ready. You can watch the videos on my channel. They spoke about why price consolidating. It's just waiting for those rate decisions. We got the rate decision and price moved up. And it's literally the same exact thing. It's just like markets are fractal. So this is a smaller period, but the idea is the same. Consolidation, Powell spoke, price moved up. Right? And if you go back here, what did you get? Just a higher consolidation. But it's the same thing. Consolidation period, Powell spoke, price moved up. And that's the thing about trading, man. Like once you focus on those things which matter, you're going to find the needle in the haystack a lot easier. But if you're going to be all over the place, you don't see the needle in the haystack because you're just frantically trying to look at everything, CTO reports, you're trying to look at correlations, you're trying to figure things out, you're trying to put pieces of the puzzle together, which, you know, is just like unnecessary. When you already know what the needle in the haystack is, why not just focus on that? Because we've seen it time and time again. That's what moves the markets. Look at this. Price is coming down here. See this? It's filling the range now down towards 4,300. Let's go, Goldie. And phase 2, yeah, let's see. Azen. Yeah, I'm gonna pass phase 1, then phase 2. I have already. F2MO is a new one. Nice. Really good time to do challenges because there's a lot of volume in them. You know, with challenges, you need volume, right? You need volume. Because you need price to, if you're gonna pass like in a few trades, you need price to actually move. And during these times are the best because candlesticks are so big. It's already like 120 pips on that 5 minute. It's easier to get those extensions that you need. That's gonna get you to where you need to be, or where you need to go. Now, like think about the trade that we took this morning, for example. That's a funding. That's a phase passed already. Simple. This is a phase passed already. Look at how much volume that is. Phase passed already. And keep going up. But people are only gonna come in like when they feel like the market should be moving. That's typically the mentality that we get every year. You're gonna see it happen next year as well. As we approach December, people are gonna start saying things like December is gonna be slow. But it's just because they're trading what they feel, not what they see. I stopped doing that a long time ago. Like my mentors used to tell me that so much, like, oh, red folder days, holiday days, this, holiday days, that. But then I used to see markets move. So I was like, you know, this doesn't make any sense. The markets, they're still moving. So I don't get what this whole conspiracy is about certain days not having volume. You just got to show up, man. Like any day could not have volume. You could not have volume on middle of the week with no news. This thing is coming downtown, 4,300. See, send in your chart work, guys. The mark zone is a 5-minute resistance. Caught the distribution. Beautiful. There was one distribution that happened below that wick too. Right over here. Boom, broke that. Actually, wait, no, this is the one that we spoke about. Yeah, this is the one that we spoke about. You got your sell inside. Because I think you're saying like a break and a retest. I don't know what this analysis is here, but it looks like you just took a sell because of a break and a retest. Or maybe some kind of a fair value gap or something. But I think the sell confirmation, for me at least, came at the break of these lows. As price started breaking those lows, now we can expect the distribution, which was this now. Very nice. Very nice. Gold this week. Don't be greedy. Secure partials or while trade if you're in a buy. Yeah, this never gets old. AI. This is IA, bro. Yeah, that's true. That is gold. But to be fair, today gold did move up quite a lot for the buys. But yeah, I get it. Generally speaking, it's a nut. Dude, this guy, God was on his side on this day. God was protecting this man. Oh my days. You know it's funny. You know it's so funny because Because like we do these things and we know what we're doing is risky, right? We know what we're doing is risky. But we want to take the fast route. This is what happens when we always take the fast route. Then you got to do it twice. And then it's going to cost you more money when you don't do it correct the first time. Like he knew this was risky. Man, let me tell you, the other day, I was dismantling my table, right? And I just wanted to change something small on my table. Change something small on my table. So I was like, okay, I can remove this piece over here, but let me keep everything on the table. Let me keep my computer, my screens, everything, because I think I can do it. And I think the structure is like solid enough. It can hold while I do this little change. Man, and then like something told me like, Vic, just don't do the shortcut. Don't just do this right. Take everything off, spend that extra time, be secure. I took my computer off, I took everything off. But when I removed that one piece, the fucking table came apart. It literally came apart. And like I was doing it myself and it was like kind of wobbling like this. And I was just thinking like, holy, if I had my stuff on here, man, this is a lot of money. Like this is a lot of equipment over here that I have. And all that would have just like, a lot of it could have just gotten like completely broke because the table just, it kind of like broke. The table kind of fell because it's heavy. It fell and it broke and I had to buy a new table. But man, I think like God whispered in my ear at that moment, like, hey, just do this the right way. Do this the right way. Like just take your time, take that shit off, put it on the side, and then see what's gonna happen. But yeah, you know, sometimes we get impatient, right? We get impatient with these little things that we do on a day-to-day basis. We get impatient. We just want to do it fast. But usually you don't want to do it fast. You want to move correct. That's just the way it is also when you're making money, right? You don't want to make money fast because you're going to make mistakes, very costly mistakes. You make it slow and steady, then you're not going to pay a high price. Yeah, price coming down to correct this range. Perfect. Amazing. You see the beautiful thing about price action over here. You're going to see a certain setup play out in a certain way multiple times and you get confidence in those plays when you see it happen over and over again. Because you know, you're going to take like maybe a month, you're going to take 2 months, you're going to paper trade the idea and then you get confidence. But if it's your first time like seeing that setup, you don't really know what's going on, you don't have confidence to execute. So it always starts like pepper trading 1 or 2 months, then you're going to see it happen over and over and over again. You know, whilst you're still trading your strategies, you're going to watch how ranges get mopped up like this. And then you're going to investigate, where could I have gotten into this trade? And you're going to see something happen like consistently. There's a certain thing that happens before moves happen, right? It creates a higher probability of a good entry confirmation. But at the same time, just keep in mind these ranges. Because you see those ranges over here, they're like magnets. And you see as price coming down, it's coming down towards a psychological mark at 4,300. You see this? And you got your nice to estimate confluences, etc. Pretty good. Like, I'm going to buy your signals and copy trade into a one-side account, true passive income. Yeah, I would say the best thing to do is come with the mentality of wanting to actually learn how to trade. That will be the best thing that you're ever going to do for yourself. Right? Because you want to build a skill at the end of the day. You know what made me fearful in the beginning? Was the fact that if I never learned this skill for myself, and this guy that I was following just one day stopped being on the internet, then I would be screwed. You know, but if I had that skill, then I would be good. That's the whole thing I always had at the back of my head when I started trading. It's like, man, I need to learn how to do this thing here. You know, I need to learn how to do it. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Sometimes people get discouraged. Made back my loss from yesterday. Took the break of support on the 15-minute time frame. 15 pips stop loss. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Bumbleclot Santa. Nice, man. That's just like bleeding. Today not trading, doing my indicator, need to make some tweaks. Then I share the money machine. I just come to wish you all a great new year. Thank you, Ricardo. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. You got the, let me how do you remove this? You got the these are the guys who own the gyms. The gyms on New Year's. Like, oh, business is about to be good, sir. Yes, we got these lemmings. They got the New Year's resolutions. Yeah, they're gonna go. We gotta have a good quarter here this first year. Get them gym memberships and New Year's resolutions. Oh, look at this. 4300s coming down. You see, it's like a magnet. You see how it's attracted to it? It's just filling this whole range over here. Beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna start the year. Don't wait for the new year. That's the worst thing that you're ever gonna do for yourself. Is you're gonna put yourself in this group of people who have New Year's resolutions. You know, New Year's resolutions, like, you gotta start now. Like, whatever it is that you want to do for the next year, just already start doing it now. Don't wait till the New Year's. That's a trick, because it's gonna be like, in the beginning, it's a lot of motivation. This is typically what happens. Lots of motivation in the beginning. And then that motivation will just quickly die out after like 2 or 3 months. It's because you kind of like went into it with a lot of expectations. You know, but the truth is, like, consistency is always a secret to achieving anything in life. And it's a very boring and stoic process that you can't tie consistency with motivation. You can't tie it with this feeling of, oh, I'm about to do this, or this is going to be great, this is going to be life-changing. You have to go into it with a lot of stoicism. Like, man, this is going to be a grind, and it's going to take a lot of work and effort for me mentally, physically, to get this job done. And I need to keep my emotions in check, that I don't get too overexcited, overstimulated, and I don't get like too underexcited, like demotivated. I just need to go into it like as numb as possible, no expectations. And then you're gonna find like that's actually how it's gonna be for the whole duration of it. 90% of whatever you're trying to achieve, 10% is just small motivation every now and then. 90% of it is just stoicism. It's a way of protecting yourself from being demotivated, being discouraged. So you're already going into it expecting the battle, expecting the difficult times. Because motivation is going to come quickly. It's going to boost you, but it also goes really fast too. That's why, you know, like, that's why I say, instead of staying optimistic, just stay cynical and stay consistent. New Year's resolutions can kiss my ass, and New Year doesn't really mean anything in terms of goal setting. Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just like a clean slate you can at least give yourself. Like, you can trick your mind into thinking it's a clean slate. Because it's a new year, new me. So it's a nice way of like thinking about it too. But the truth is, there is no clean slates. You know, you gotta make the clean slate. Every day is a clean slate, to be honest. Every day is a clean slate, because waiting for a new year, for a new me, it doesn't exist. Like, new me can come today if I wanted to. You know, you don't gotta wait for the new year. New me only comes when you're tired, completely tired of getting what you've been getting. You know, just like Denzel says, to get what you never had, you gotta do something you never did. And to get onto that new level, you can't put the same effort that you've been putting. To get onto a new level, it's going to require some kind of a new effort as well. Because you're just going to keep getting what you kept getting if you just keep doing what you kept doing, right? Natural way of the universe. At the first candle close, move SL here. Oh, this is my yesterday's trade, but I need the indicator I slaved to get them. It's a $100 account balance, but it went from 100 to 150 by risking 5 to 10%. Got here, Leivik. What was the buy that you took? This was a... You just rewatch the stream. It was a shotgun play. You can actually see the shotgun play. Like if you go on the spreadsheet, there's a time and everything. You can go on the spreadsheet, look at the time, and then look at the entry model. Then you're gonna see it. I think that's just actually the best way of learning it, you know? Because if I would just explain it to you now, the problem is the problem with that is like when you over explaining things, it comes to you become lazy as well. But if you see it, you see it. And you also got screenshots here as well on trades taken. You can see on my channel, TFX Signals. Got into this position, break of the lows. Yeah, this was a move right here, sir. Looks like you got stuck in that initial drawdown though. But did you extend your sub? Yeah, looks like you did. Oh yeah, that if you took it based off the shotgun to the downside, the initial one did have that stronger pullback. But we spoke about the earlier, and there was an earlier entry model right over there on the 1 minute. That's still pretty nice. Oh, it took this sell, break even here. Took a sell, close profit. Beautiful. And you see how I corrected that whole range as well? You should put the image of the range too, like from that support to the next support, to see where the target was. Oh, but I think you, yeah, like this. You see, as it's coming down towards that next support now, look, it's reversing from that support. It's come, it's filled up the range. Boom, boom, boom. 4,300. Now it's pulling back up. Clockwork. I'm using the liquidity grab plus order flow, and also on the 1 minute they look so good, but taking it from 5 minute. See the news. Got any news here? Wednesday. Oh, look at this. We got bank holidays today. German banks will close in observance of New Year's Eve. We got unemployment claims too. Give me 1 second, chat. Be right back. see. Let's see. I think the market needs to set up again since it's already had that distribution. It's like having a pullback right now. It's gonna set up. It's got this movement here towards that resistance point. In case like candlesticks start to close again bearish to break back above. Got a range here of around 86 pips. December is my biggest month in gain after July. December was apparently like quite full of surprises over here. Man, I think a lot of people, I saw on my Instagram, a lot of like profitable traders made like $50,000 trades, $100,000 trades in December over here. December was actually surprisingly good because of the amount of volume that there was. It was crazy. It was easier to get runners in December. That's why I can say. I took a total of 38 trades. 38 trades, 1 or 2 trades a day. Yeah, I saw like some people made like $250,000 in December. But you know, these are the same people I've been watching for a long time. They also understand usually when there's volume in the market. The only difference between me and them is just they probably just have like a bigger risk tolerance and they have more capital to play with. So, but it's the same. It's like literally the same things. It's the same people I see who made like the same basic trades during Trump's election time. Like when Trump became president, like price was moving this, like gold was selling off. Gold also had the same amount of sell-offs. Yeah, man. So I'm just blessed. Like these people are my mentors and I followed them for a very long time. So, they, you know, you get to a point where those things also start clicking for you and then you start understanding them yourself and start really seeing why it is that they actually have those big trades. And it's a blessing, man. You show up on the charts every day, you put in the work and, you know, that's what you get. You just get better at what you do the more you show up. Because this is stuff like, man, we speak about this on stream all the time. Before like these big moves also happen and what we expect. We speak about it all the time. The crazy part is though, that the trades I thought I was going to get in December, I thought I was going to get in November. Or because remember the moves were happening during Asia session. Like when prices like really moving on gold, all those moves were happening during Asia session. So we couldn't catch them. We couldn't catch them, but we just stayed patient. We stuck to our times that we trade, and then we're able to catch some trades later on towards the tail end. But in the beginning of December, I think it was as well, like most of these moves are all happening in the Asia session. So it's like a lot harder to catch because you don't trade that time, or I don't trade that time. Just like even what happened basically like right here. Like you can see this happened during the Asia, like early Asia session. Like look at the size of this dump. I'm not even on the chart on this time until around that 1 a.m. Eastern candle. But look, 1 a.m. Eastern candle, look where I'm coming in. I'm coming in at the bottom of the range. So that's just been a kind of like a trend that we've seen with gold of late, at least until towards the tail end. Then now we're starting to get these also bigger moves happening just throughout the day. Like we're just literally seeing gold here break this wick and push down 168 pips to fill this 200 pip range. Jan should be a good month. Yeah, Jan should be a good month too. I believe so. I don't think there's a reason why price should stop being good until it actually stops being good. So Jan should be good, February should be good, first quarter should be good. Even though the fundamentals are saying like we might experience some little bit of consolidation in the first quarter, we just have to wait and see what develops. Please, which indicator is good to use? The EYES indicator is always the best to use. It's never failed me once. Goldie is not following the narrative. It is following the profit-taking narrative. Ola G, Ola Sreek. Being able to take the loss is important. I used to be in self-denial myself, end up with a ridiculous amount of losses. Yeah, that's true. When you're fighting the market, it's a fight you can't win when you're revenge traded. The humbleness takes time. It takes time to get into that humble phase, definitely. In the beginning, you will have to compound those losses. It's just a natural way it goes for a lot of us. Eventually humbleness kind of starts to set in, and then you start getting more comfortable with accepting like a losing day and taking less trades. And then you can take like 1 or 2 trades, because walking away is part of the strategy. Like people don't get that part. Like it is part of strategy. You don't always gotta trade. Like actually the more you trade, the more you're putting yourself in a position to lose money. So it's the best thing if you can start a day profitable and then just call it a day is really, really good. Like think about it, like only 3% of people on Top Step, for example, actually get to a payout. Man, you just ended a day profitable. You put yourself in a category of people that is a very small percentage of people, right? Very small percentage of people. So once that idea really sinks in, you're going to accept not over trading. You're gonna be okay with taking 1 or 2 trades a day and just be happy that you survived it. But it takes time for that to sink in. Definitely takes some time. Should I take time to pass phase 1 and 2? You should take your time to pass phase 1 and 2, yes. Very patient. But what you want to be seeing is candles moving like this though. That's always a good sign. See those really big pushes. I've locked myself out of my account for today. Nice one, Jimmy. Take like 1 or 2 trades, lock yourself out. Amazing. That's what you want to do. But you also want to get to the point where like you don't also need any apps to lock you out of anything, right? Because the whole idea here is you need to be you need to be mentally strong. You know, because when you think about think about all the great people who built businesses back in the days, right? Or even still today. There's nothing to lock you out of anything. When you're an entrepreneur, you literally have to make those decisions yourself and stick by those decisions. It's just because we work around computers and we're traders, we can use apps. I know some of us using apps to lock ourselves out. But remember, at the end of the day, you're an entrepreneur, right? You have to trust yourself that you're not going to overtrade, you're not going to revenge trade. Because if you don't trust yourself, then that's going to be... Remember we talked about a glass of water and you got like a clean cup of water, then there's something floating in there which is going to be very detrimental to you later on. You know, if you can't trust yourself, because all it takes is a bad day. All it takes is an ego. You know, your ego gets hurt. When your ego gets hurt, man, it looks like this. Boom, 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 boom. You know, let me share with you an interesting trick that bartenders use in very expensive clubs. So if you go to a club and you're walking up to a bartender and there's a beautiful girls sitting over there, and you know you want to get a few drinks, you want to talk to the girls, impress the girls, give the bartender your card. He's gonna take your card, and then he's gonna swipe your card. He's gonna give you back the card, and he's gonna tell you there's no money in this card. So naturally you're gonna say, that doesn't make sense. You know, I have money in that card. I'm rich. You give him another card. He's gonna swipe your card, and then same thing happens. No money in the card. And you're like, all right, hold up. He's gonna give you back the card. Now, because you're embarrassed, because these girls you're gonna talk to are right there, and they're seeing a card get denied, you're gonna go to an ATM, withdraw a wad of cash. You'll come back and end up buying a shitload of drinks. You're gonna buy the girls drinks. The girls are gonna be interested in you, in quotation. And then the bartender is gonna tell you, hey, why don't you get the good stuff? You know, because because you're a high roller, you want to get the good stuff now. So you're gonna end up spending more money on the good stuff. And in the end, you're gonna get shit-faced, and you'll see the bartender leave the club with the girls, and you'll realize it's all just been a sham. And that's the easiest way to get money from rich people. Make them feel broke. Because when you make a rich person feel broke, their ego gets hurt. And when their ego gets hurt, their bank account bleeds. And they spend a lot of money. And that's the best way you're gonna get money from a rich person. And it's the same exact thing here. If you can't trust yourself, and subconsciously there's this thing in you that is going to eventually bleed, you just need that one bad day. You just need that one person to tell you you're not good enough. And trust me, on that day, your ego is gonna bleed the account. So that's why I always say, like, you have to take control of your emotions as much as possible. Otherwise, you're always just gonna be a feather in the wind. So look at that one weakness which is inside of you and see how detrimental that can be. Then you're gonna know how important it is that you need to remain humble. See you in 1 minute. Here's a big thing. A lot of these people on the internet, they would rather spend money to show you a false lifestyle because their egos are too fragile. The same people who are showing you Bugattis and all of these things, if they didn't have such a big ego, they would have spent that money on buying bungalows in countries or investing in things which could actually give them back assets. But no, instead it's much cooler to crash a Bugatti and say I can afford to do this. And that's how you bleed your account. You know, that's how you bleed your account, because you kind of want to show off to people. And I've seen it happen time and time again. I've been in this industry for 5 years. I've seen a lot of these influencers come and go. And it usually is the same story. They bleed a shit ton of money trying to impress people who don't even care about them, because they have such a fragile ego that they need to do that. I don't care about all those things. I wear a black t-shirt and I invest my money. I don't give a shit. But you see, the thing is, you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined in life, because when you start making money in trading, it's very easy to fall into that realm, especially when you're on social media of showing off. But the smartest thing to always do is to invest your money wisely, stay humble, and just keep doing what makes you money. I started to see my results when I take max one trade a day. And it took me 2 years to realize that. Yeah, like one trade a day. That's all you need. 1 or 2 trades a day. Now we're going to move over to 2026 and just do the same thing. 2023, 2024, 25, 26. And just keep it pushing. Like, one thing that's always helped me is staying on my lane. You know, I never let anybody distract me from my own journey. It's very simple. And life is a lot easier that way. Don't focus on the numbers. Don't focus on people's opinions. Just keep showing up and just keep doing you. And you're gonna get the best results. You're gonna be very happy with yourself at the end of the day. But yeah, I think in trading, we all just have to get our whys. Like, why are we trading? What's influencing us to trade? Is it a lifestyle? Is it stability that we're looking for? Are we chasing something that might seem like a bit artificial? Are we chasing something that's gonna last? Yeah, filling up this range. Nice. So you get profit taking from this area. That's like pulling back up. It's like 43.27. 43.27. Going up now? Yes, sir. It has to correct this move. Like this is a high volume area right over here where price distributed from. So it's coming back up to retest that zone. After 100 SMA, price is likely to go up. Here's a broke the 50. Candles closing here. Look at this. Close with no top. No top and no bottom wick. It's about like 78 pips. Oh, whoa. Yeah, this is coming back to white people. Greedy sellers over here. This is a high volume point. Market's eating me like Pac-Man. Yes, sir. You gotta be that last ghost. That last ghost who's hard to catch in Pac-Man. Gotta be that pesky little ghost who's just like... Gotta make it difficult. What about you guys? But it's very hard to get money from me. It's very difficult to get money from me. You know, I don't give my money out easily. It's easy to give money, right? But it's hard to make it. So you have to be the same way in the market. You know, if you're gonna make money in the market, make it difficult for the market to take back your money. You have to make it difficult. Don't make it easy. A lot of us make it way too easy. Maybe you're gonna make it difficult. Just don't overtrade. Just stick to a few trades a day, like 1 or 2 trades. That's it. And then just wait. Be patient. Trade during the times that you know you're giving yourself breaks in between sessions. Pre-London, London, New York, or pre-NY. That's the best way to make it more difficult for the market to take back your funds. But if you're gonna splurge all in one place, that's gonna be like putting your eggs in one basket. You take one trade, then you take another trade at the same time, kind of like overtrade that session. It's easier for market to take advantage of you. But if you take a trade like, let's say here, and then take a trade somewhere else, and you stick to maybe like 1 or 2 attempts a day, it makes it a lot more difficult for the market, because it can't just be here the whole time just waiting for you per se to give you a losing trade, right? It's gonna get tired, and when it gets tired, you hit it again. You hit it once, see if it works. It's gonna do its thing, blah blah blah. Eventually it gets tired again. It has to start paying out, then you hit it again. But if you stick around for too long, there are days where you get away with it and back to back wins. But in the long term, what I've noticed in the long term, the way it's set up is like a casino. The longer you're there, the higher probability that this guy here is gonna win. Right? So you might have the illusion in the short term, but it knows in the long term it's not gonna work. So if you truly understand that concept just in its own, that should also help you with like patience. A lot of patience, a lot of discipline. Just understanding that in itself. Because you're not here to gamble, right? You're here to run a business. You want to actually make money. You want to keep that money that you're making too. But it's you get to the point in trading where you're going to cross that bridge. You cross that bridge more into running it like a business. But a lot of us right now, we're still getting a bit excited about these trades, about the signals that we haven't yet gotten to that point. But you get to that point, and that's when you start to realize the value of really giving a shit about the numbers and how you're maintaining your account and your P&L. Because at the end of the day, you know, you have to see, how did you perform? You know, what could you improve? What happened here? Something out of the ordinary? What can we do about this? Gotta be like a good businessman. Because think of this like business, right? If you got employees and you're looking back at your books, you got to look at this and say, what happened over here? You know, you got to investigate who was working during this time. You know, who was working during this time? What was happening during this time? Why were we taking losses during this time? Because that becomes like something that stands out. So when you journal, you got to also journal in that time, kind of like a mental model. You really got to like put yourself on the spotlight. If this current 4-hour flips and closes bullish, I will go and buy, targeting at 5,000 price. This will be my New Year pump. Let's go. New Year pump. Hey, that actually sounds tempting. But man, like New Year's? What's going to happen New Year's? New yearly candlestick? I don't want to see some crazy rug pull, to be honest. We might have some crazy NFP happen or something like that. It's like towards the New Year's. You know, people are going to get excited. But yeah, New Year's pump sounds tempting. Actually, if I took a buy this morning and I kept that buy position, my trade would have been literally taken out before it moved back up again. You see how like intelligent the market is? Like it would have taken my earlier trade this morning out before maybe it gives that New Year's pump. Even though we got such a nice entry down here by 4309. Maybe you got away with something like here. Something just absurdly accurate that the market would, like probability wise, not come back down there. Then you got your New Year's pump and you put your stop loss to break even or in profit a bit. Worst case scenario, you get stopped out in profit. But it's difficult because that would be the only opportunity here at like about, this is exactly at 1 a.m. Eastern. Experts are saying 4,300. 4,300 for 2026. But we already tapped 4,300. What do you mean? This 4,300 right here. This is actually the target from when price started selling off from this area here. Came down towards 4,300. 5,000 gold next year. We're looking at 4,800. 47, no increments, 48, 49. But yeah, 5,000 is definitely the mark. Right over here. It's going to be the next target. 5,000. I'm sure we're going to hit it within the first 2 quarters. Maybe we can hit it in the first quarter, actually. This candlestick's going to close like this. Get the same volume in. Most likely hit it between the first... Yeah. The first quarter could do it. Realistically speaking. But it's going to skyrocket, definitely past that 5K mark for sure. And look at Platinum. Platinum's range was also filled up. Here, nice little accumulation break to the upside. Completely filled up the range now. So what Silver's doing. Silver's down on the daily about like negative 5.40%. It's stuck in its own accumulation over here, trading above 70. Massive accumulation. Could be the break. Silver might see a break, like a strong pull up, but it's giving similar vibes like gold because they're both negative on the daily. So it's seeing like profit taking overall. Anyway, silver just bled throughout the Asia session. That's what we've been seeing a lot happen. Asia session, early sessions, price moves. And then during the hour sessions, or like when most of us are currently on the chart, like pre-London, London time, kind of starts to slow down again. And then it's like slows down towards up until New York. And then New York does a fake out and then gets a continuation on the daily. But yeah, like silver's chilling here. It's got like silver's got a support on the 5. If you're looking for more sell continuations, you want to see at least that support there get broken. And then it can fill this range just the same way that gold just filled this range right over here. Same exact thing. And you see what we spoke about? There's also another range here that if price was to create that resistance to move up, it's now filled that range towards 43.26 as well. Create that resistance. Remember when it was moving up, so could create that resistance and then push up above and then create that move. That was the whole kind of like idea behind the trade that I took this morning as well. Price came down, boom, created that resistance, got the shotgun play entry confirmation, price continued to move up. This was more of like a swing entry confirmation because you didn't wait for the candle closure, or you wouldn't have to get a better entry at the break of the highs. Right, to continue, if you remember how we were taking the swing entry models in the beginning of the years, like up until, I think we did it up until September. Yeah, up until September, swing entry models. If you haven't watched those streams, you can watch those streams. You're gonna see what the swing entry model is. But that's what I did here. Break above the high to come towards 43.27. Break above that nice little SMAs. See, clean range been mopped. No, maybe you could look at it as accumulation break, but it's not the cleanest because that swing there was kind of aggressive to the downside. Kind of pulled down heavy. Break above the highs to continue moving up. You know, like these ranges are like magnets, chat. Like I love range trading. You got next one right here. Just like this one was corrected previously on silver from here to here. See how this range got filled? About like 404 pips. Then price just completely annihilated these smaller levels, created that pullback. Now we might see some continuation to the downside. This is coming back to retest this high value area right over here. See, this is a high value area where volume had previously come in from. You see it's retesting that area there where the sellers were in. So a little bit of accumulation breakout to the downside on silver. This is with that clean range. I think this would have been such a clean move. It looks really good there on the 5 minute. And it's also a resistance. Man, this is the same thing. Same exact thing. Like literally. Same thing we did on the simulation. Watch the simulation. Watch the first trade that we took on the simulation. On the Gold Masterclass playlist on my channel. Same exact thing, chat. Like, it's insane. But you have to stick with the system. You have to understand it inside and out. Then you actually see. You see what it is. The difficult part about trading is when you first come onto the chart, this is all that you get, right? You just see candlesticks like this. It's open for creativity, right? So it's just about like adjusting your eyes to seeing what you want to see. Like some of you are looking at this, you're seeing fair value gap areas. You're seeing certain things. Like we're all looking at it like slightly differently. Correct? So it's all just about like adjusting your eyes towards seeing the thing that you want to see, because the market will show you what you want. Neo, when you come and step into the marketverse, the longer you are on the charts, the more the market is going to show you what you want, Neo. And that's how it pushes you into your trades, because you're gonna get impatient and you're gonna think you see what you want to see, but it might not be what you really wanted to see, but you're just impatient. So the market's gonna give you the closest thing to it as possible. Then you're gonna execute on it. And then it might not be the trade that you want to see. And then eventually you find out if you just waited like 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, then you got exactly what you wanted to see. But it was able to push you in and play off your emotions. So you have to focus on a system. And man, you got to lock in that system where you're literally like the Terminator. And all you see is watch what your system is showing you. You know, for when I look at this, for example, what I'm seeing, price came down. I'm seeing clean range on the higher time frame. I'm seeing an accumulation breakout to mop up that range. I'm seeing a minor resistance with a higher time frame resistance for a potential runner. Right over here. So we can like clip this section and let's see how accurate that was, because I just used one time frame. But yes, we do have accumulation. We do have the breakout. Now the thing is, there might be a minor resistance here towards a higher time frame clean range. see which one it is. Maybe this one or this one. On the 15-minute. Yeah, that's a clean range on the 15-minute. That's at the minor resistance right over here. I knew it was somewhere around here. There's the entry confirmation at the break of the highs on the consolidation play. Potential running trade. But this is not the cleanest because that resistance there is like pretty close. But if you're watching our simulations, usually going to have like another resistance, which is a little bit higher or cleaner, that you can go here, tap that one, and then go towards that next one to have as a running opportunity to the next point. It is pretty much exactly what I can give you the most recent example of that, which was basically yesterday. It's gonna kill zones. Was it here? Yeah, but this one is a lot more further off, but that was the range. There was a fake out reversal play that happened below here. On that support you see on the 1 minute. This is the one we kind of hesitated on because we didn't get the break with confidence that we wanted to see. So we kind of hesitated on this one as it broke above the highs. But the idea was to correct this range, which is already a pretty massive range. So not the best example, but very big range to around 111 pips. And then as price was breaking these highs, the next idea was for price to fill up this next range here. If you were for some reason going to leave a runner. But this was already such a big range to fill up. But you know, the concept is kind of like more or less the same. Especially if this resistance was a little bit closer. Because price needs to move, right? Sometimes we like constrict price too much or too many levels. And we forget that price actually needs to move through those levels. So in this situation, we did have the push. The reason why I got that reaction was 30-minute SMA of 43.78. You can see when the 30-minute was just about to close, right there at 43.78, got a dynamic resistance that was coming in. But yeah, eventually it did fill up the range though. So if you're still holding from this area over here, for whatever reason you hit this target, you know that the next target is going to be like right over there too. So it just accumulated. It just needed to accumulate again because we got a new hourly candlestick as well that contributed to like that little pullback before price started moving up again. But yeah, that was pretty much the idea behind this PA flow, this flow of price action. There's a consolidation break that we took over here, but we kind of got stuck because of the hourly pullback, the hourly lows before it created the hourly highs again, and then just skyrocketed up. And then I came in later and I took a buy right over here. I think this is the last buy that I took yesterday. Small little accumulation break on that one too. And then I think price ranged. Yeah, it ranged for a bit and then came back down and continued to move up again later. Now, since we're like a little bit into the London session, we got to see like where's our key points, because now we got resistance here, we got support here. You can see the market's not really trending and the daily is down negative 0.10% right now. So there's no direction, right? If you go on the daily, you'll see the daily is a doji right now pretty much. You already had a push down. We had some direction earlier. Price pulled up. Now it's like a doji. And this is also what we spoke about in the video. That usually during this time, like from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Eastern, you're going to see that market section kind of break into a wider range and then start to move again from pre-NY volume into New York. As a swing trader, how should I trade intraday? Oh, you can. Like if you're a swing trader, you're going to have a big stop loss. But a swing trader also holds positions throughout a period of days, correct? So what you want to say is, as a swing trader, how should I trade intraday? I think the best way you're going to trade intraday is because swing traders, even with big stop losses, can sometimes have their targets hit like quite early, right? So let's Google swing trader definition. So the definition of a swing trader who uses a strategy to profit from, let's see, short to medium term price movement swings in the financial market, although holding assets for a few days to several weeks, longer than a day trader, but shorter than a long-term investor, relying on heavily technical analysis, spot trends, and reversals for gains. So what kind of swing trader are you? Do you hold for days, potentially to several weeks, or you're looking for intraday swings? It's kind of confusing. But look, man, at the end of the day, like gold right now is moving. It moved literally 2,000. You have to know your ATR, right? The average true range of your instrument. Average true range on gold is 500 pips. We're getting candlesticks push around 2,000 pips. So even if you're a swing trader, you're getting your targets hit on throughout the day. Your target's literally still getting hit throughout the day because the ATR on gold has increased substantially. So you see even this candle right here, that was on Christmas Eve, and that pushed out 1,181 pips from an average of, like, you know, 400. On average, man, like gold would move 400, 500 pips. So I think right now is the best time for you to have profits being hit a lot sooner. Few days, like 2 or 3. And the best advice I could give you, to be honest, is like focus on the macros. Focus on the macroeconomics, focus on the news fundamentals, like actually pay attention to what's driving markets. Because as a swing trader, you can't afford to base your trades off technical analysis. The more you base off technical analysis, the more losses. And trust me, you're going to lose. I'm going to tell you, like, no sugarcoating. Been in the industry for a long time. I've tried those moves. You're going to fail. You're going to fail with a big stop loss purely using technical. I know some of you are watching mentors drawing trend lines and making money. You're going to fail if you're a swing trader and you're not following the news, the fundamentals, the macros, because that's what's actually moving price. And that's where you're going to get your confidence from in terms of directional bias, because you need directional bias, right? That's what you need. You need to be convinced that this instrument is moving in this direction in a period of a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And the only way you're going to know that is if you're following the breadcrumbs, right? Which are the macros. What's currently happening? What's Powell about to do? What are the rates about to do? What's the US dollar about to do? Is Trump about to go to war with Iran again? How's that going to affect your position? Are you in a short on gold when the dollar is overall decreasing? You know, now it makes a lot more sense to look at those correlations as well, if you're holding for like days like that. Because those events are going to dramatically influence. So like, look at DXY right now. DXY looks like it's about to tumble. Dollar weakness. Trump's putting in a guy who's going to give us rate cuts. What does that mean for your buy on gold in the next 2 weeks? There's a lot of exposure as well, because, you know, now you got to deal with yearly pullbacks. You got to deal with also higher time frames. It's a lot more difficult, in my opinion. Then like maybe taking a trade and being in a trade for like 5-10 minutes. You know, it's a little bit more predictable because that window of uncertainty is a lot narrower, whereas your window of uncertainty is a lot larger, because we don't know if Trump's going to push a nuclear button today. We don't know who he's going to get into an argument with tomorrow. You know, so that risk exposure is a lot bigger. Contrary to what most people believe, that it's actually safer to trade the higher time frames. It's actually a lot more dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. But if you know what you're doing, then you can have some serious conviction. And you can take bigger risks. Trump never went to war with Iran in the first place. He's always gonna go to war with somebody. I'm closing the year at, was that plus 136% in 10 months. Took 2 months off because of exams. Time to sit back and enjoy the stream. Hey, congratulations. I also see the chart work coming in. Very nice chart work. Gbpjpy. So you put in the work, sir. There's a guy who bought yesterday. He was so happy he bought at 43.82, and look at the price now. $50 less. Can I buy now, bro? Sorry for asking. You can send a shot. So why the big drops recently? Profit taking. Learning to wait so patiently, it's getting perfected finally. Instead of impulsive on my side, learning so much from your education stream. Thank you, Vic. Thank you. Appreciate it. I feel like I'm throwing buckets of shit at the wall hoping to get paid. Throwing buckets of shit at the wall is great for learning lessons, not for getting paid. Because, you know, the more shit you throw, eventually something starts to stick, you know. Those things that stick on the wall are the ones that you want to focus on now. But it's not the greatest strategy or approach to get paid. Amazing strategy to learn. Excel that growth. So keep chugging. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Hi bro, can you give me a tip on gold? Do you think it's better to look for long or short term right now? I think both. Both are really good. I'm looking for both at this whole month. I've been looking for both. That's why I have a few runners over here. A lot more runners than usual. Because price is moving. So look for both. Just see where the opportunities lie based off of the access to clean ranges. Then you're gonna have a higher chance. Actually, this trade I could have left a runner, but I don't think it's necessary here at this point towards the end of the year. But look at the opportunity that's presented in the market for you. Volume times ranges. Is there a high volume? Yes. Awesome. Are there good ranges? Yes. Even better. That means you're going to have a better chance. This equals Volume times ranges equals to runners. Then you get to choose now what you want to do. You want to leave a runner, or do you want to secure a short-term position? But if you got volume and range, then you have a higher chance of securing that runner. So we can even see it here today. We had volume based off of these candles. See how much volume there is? Pretty big. Then we had clean range. So there was a breakout that happened a bit earlier. And then there were continuation breakouts over here to fill the range to 4,300. And it came all the way down. That was a 200 pip range. And you see the same thing again happen right here. You still got volume in the market. See this pushes. Times range. You got a range from here to here. Equals potential runner to fill that range. So you see how this range got filled? See how this range here got filled? And how this smaller one here got filled. The same story on platinum too. And other instruments. See the same thing. Is there volume in platinum? Yes. So we're gonna check mark that. We see this volume. Is there a range? Yes. There's an opportunity that price can come and correct that move. So what's the probability now that you get a runner? See, now that's gonna increase because you have those two things checked. You get entry confirmations, your TFX entry confirmations, and then price is gonna have a good probability of coming a run towards that region. But you see, we always have the situations as well. You gotta keep in mind, sometimes it pulls back to retest the zone to see if there's any more orders. That's what happened on platinum too. It came back to retest the zone, that area, to see if there's any more orders. Sometimes it doesn't do that, and then it just continues in that general direction. You're gonna have candlesticks just completely mop up, like we saw on gold during pre-London. Right over here, you see it just mopped up. So when we took a buy, it just mopped up. It didn't come back to the range until much later on here during the London session, but it came to retest it. Sometimes that same retest comes like a lot sooner, as you can see right here. So sometimes you're gonna have it retest, sometimes it's gonna go. And most of the time, the best runners obviously are the ones which just go, because you don't want to deal with this extra, it's like extra uncertainty, but it's just good to know that it happens at least. There's a probability of that, and then continue in that direction. If you were to start again with similar capital, would you go to prop firm route or personal? I've been trying to decide. I would do it like prop firm and then live. Because, you know, the income is a big problem for us in the beginning, is how can we get income to trade? So I think the best route of that is a prop firm. And once you get prop firm, you're always building your personal. The idea is not to get funded millions of dollars of prop firms. The idea is to get funded on your own personal account, live account. Because you're going to have a lot more control. The people who get funded like millions of dollars on prop firms, they're just marketers, and they most likely have affiliation links with the prop firms that they're marketing for. So just be careful about that. No one actually wants to be funded millions of dollars of prop firm. If you had that same skill, why would you not have your own personal account and control your funds? Because there's nothing more beautiful than having control. You know, you always got to have control. You got to control how your business is making money. Where's the money going? How's the money coming in? Like, that's what we kind of want to do. We don't want to have a business that is operating on a third party. That's the worst thing. Like, because now you're going to have a portion of your business, a percentage of your business belongs to somebody else, right? How does that make sense? You're a CEO, but you know, 50% of your business belongs to a third party. It's not a good look. It's the same thing as if you are in crypto trading. I know a bunch of you are in crypto trading. If you have your money in an exchange like a Binance or a Coinbase, that money doesn't belong to you. It can get locked. Your account can get blocked. It doesn't matter if you have $100 million, $2. That money does not belong to you because you have no control. That's what a funded program is. It's like an exchange. You have this money in that exchange, but it decides whether to give you the payouts or not at the end of the day. So why would you not want to have full autonomy of your money? Why not? You know? So that's why you got to build personal accounts and use those as tools. Binance, Coinbase. If you Google the definition of what those things are, those are exchanges to help you buy and sell cryptocurrency, not store cryptocurrency. A funding program is almost the same thing. It's just an avenue for you to make more money, but not store money on it. You want to store your money in a sense off those exchanges, right? Off those platforms. Because they're not solutions. There have never been solutions for growing personal wealth. Even when you think about the word wealth, what is wealth? Wealth is something that belongs to you, right? When you talk about people who are wealthy, what do wealthy people have? They have assets. They don't have money in the bank. They have assets. They have gold. They have properties. They have land. That's wealth because it's in their control. As long as these things are not in your control, it doesn't belong to you. So yeah, I would say like it's the best thing you can do. Like just focus on using those as tools to build your own control over certain where you can trade your own funds. At the end of the day, you do use a broker, I'll admit, but you know, broker is very different from a funding program. And the chances that I see markets as a broker goes bust compared to these funded programs, there's a very low probability a well-established brokerage, almost like a bank, is going to have any problem like liquidity or any problem like regulations and that sort of thing. Very low probability. Because if that one tumbles, what does that mean for all the other ones? You know, you got to think about like even a tier 1 bank in your country. If a tier 1 bank, the best bank in your country tumbles, what does that mean for all the other banks? You know, so there's a very low probability. If that's gonna happen now. Like Deutsche Bank. Imagine if Deutsche Bank tumbles. You know, what would that mean? Or like Bank of America or something. Pretty huge banks. I'm using FTMO. Yeah, FTMO is pretty trustworthy. So basically it's just like a milking system. You go on funded programs to milk them. Basically, that's all that you're doing. You're just milking them, praying that they actually give you the money, and then investing it wisely in a personal account. Because they're running a business, right? At the end of the day, they're not doing you any favors. Everyday respect for the grind. Thank you, sir. Have I tried binary options? I saw it when I started trading, but I never got into it because it didn't have the same feeling like with reading candles on binary options. And I got pretty hooked onto the whole, you know, forex trading thing. Because it feels more like skill based, whereas binary feels a little more luck based. But if you trading binary but with the same knowledge of forex trading, and I think you could have a probability somewhere there. But like binary trading is in those videos where those AI girls or someone like that, they're gonna have like a moving average and they're gonna talk in like a Polish accent and say, oh, I'm buying now over this line, and then like some numbers start to go up and they say, now I'm securing $200. And then as the line comes back down again, and then there's like a candle that breaks through the line, and they're like, now we take a short over here. Now I'm up $400. Isn't that binary? Something like that, I think. I bet you we can find them. Let me see if I can find a stream. Binary options. Yeah, see here, the fucking top of the leaderboard. Laddie Trader, top of the leaderboard. And I think she stole my thumbnail here, chat. This is literally my thumbnail design. I made this specifically. The guy who made me this thumbnail, I worked specifically with him on these minor details, like how to get the putting a red light there, making the red light blur as well. These are like very specific things that I told the guy to make. And look at that. Look at this shit. Literally copied it like word for word, like everything, even like the positioning of the London session. Also this live, man, I literally went on Google to find the PNG of that this thing that I put behind the live, and it's literally the same one here as well. Cockroaches. Let's see. Yeah, this is that binary options. When this line breaks that line, now I take a sell. I have just made $11. See, it's always like something. Merry Xmas and Happy New Year to all. Hey, Merry Xmas, sir. Here's another one. Oh, but this one doesn't have the webcam. Oh, there she is. Oh, whoa, whoa. Where is she disappearing off to? I feel like this is like some weird OnlyFans type of business where you got like some guys here teaching these women how to say these things.
Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. In today's video
And it's always something absurd. What is this? $1 to $8. Or is that $8,000? 4.94. Yep. There it is. $1 to 8,000. And I'm pretty sure she's teaching you how to like take a trade based off of some kind of a line. See, there's always like some kind of moving average. Yeah, look at that. 8,494 minimum withdrawal amount 20. Now she's gonna withdraw from the scammer broker over here to a Bitcoin address. Dude, this thing has 20k likes. 20k likes, almost 1 million views. Insane. This is why 90+% of people are failing in this industry. 1 million views. She turned $1 to 8,000 based off buying on top of a line and selling below a certain line. Insane. Was able to get 11 wins and you're the GOAT. Man, it's a damn shame. 300,000 subscribers. Man, maybe I should stop actually teaching people and start making these dumb shit videos. Because clearly this is what freaking grows channels. Easiest pocket option trading strategy. That's crazy.
Hello friends and welcome back to my
Is there no real people? The girls at AI. That last one was real with like 300k. Artificial intelligence. So many websites now do AI real-time character streaming. Yeah, with the AI, it's getting scary good as well. Like it's getting really nice. Very hard to tell the difference. AI is getting on a whole different level now. Like, I find it kind of cool how AI could pull the Stranger Things characters, for example, and actually make them do these things, because the detail in it is actually insane. Like the movements and everything. because it does look like them. It does look like they're actually, and also like getting the camera to move like that so naturally. And you see like his face as well, like take the hat off and his hair actually moves and he looks onto the right hand side. And everything just looks so clean. Of course, you can still kind of tell it's AI, but it's very clean. Getting another consolidation here. Price just stopping for a bit. Deutsche Bank has not gone bust and continues to operate as a major global financial institution today. However, it faced severe crisis between 2016 and 2019 that many analysts believe could lead to its collapse. Yeah, you know, like the thing about that is a lot of them are going to lead to a collapse because the financial system is a Ponzi scheme. It's just everything's a Ponzi scheme, right? If you understand like how a bank operates, basically just off that simple principle that not everybody's going to withdraw their money all at once, that already shows you a huge crack. That the system is like very delicate, right? It only takes like a few situations to really put it in a really bad position. But the good news is we can print more money, or America can print more money, and always bail these institutions out. All right, guys, I'm gonna head off here. I wish you all merry New Year's now since Christmas is over, and we'll see you in 2026. I'll see you next year, everybody, which is tomorrow. So enjoy. Take care, everyone. Be blessed, be safe, be careful on the roads, and best of luck. Adios.
No time for this slip, homie. Now we bout to dip.